Yes, everyone, another video here from the Tokyo Real Estate Man. Coming to you here from Shibuya. Now, what have I done? You see all the red pill there. Everything in Shibuya is basically expensive right now. What have I done to manipulate the map? I've taken any rental stock, which you could never take possession of, off the map right there. Okay, and then that's the only time that you're going to see any blue come on this map. I'm sorry, the owner change, I thought I clicked it. And you'll see some more blue come onto the map. However, you could never take possession of it, and the laws in Japan are slanted on the tenant's way after you buy a place. So I'm going to take all of this selection here off the map. Now these two blue ones here, I did a video on them a while ago, right in here, and this apartment is one apartment. Okay, but there's two different listings for it. It is indeed right now an owner change unit, so it's rented out, so you couldn't take possession of it, and that's why this unit hasn't moved. Okay, so we see that everything here is really expensive. I'm just going to randomly click over here, and this is $4,280,000 dollars Canadian, okay, or in Japanese, and this one is Go-Oku. Okay, I'm going to randomly just go over here. It's just totally randomly going. Here's one for 1 million, which is Ichioku. Let's go over here, and then this one down here, which is closer, actually probably in Meguro. This one is you'd say Nanaoku Kyusen Hapyakuman, which is 8 million Canadian dollars. Okay, US dollars, who knows, $6 million. Okay, so the deals here are not in Tokyo anymore. Okay, the deals are in Osaka. So we see the price point here in, let's even choose one more. I just want to choose one more. Let's have a look at this green one. So it's not quite red. And of course this at home, everything here is like a relative scale. Is it coming? Here you go. Kensochu. It's not coming. Let's click the other one right beside it. Probably the same listing anyway. Okay, so we do have one here in Ikejiri Ohashi for 3,990 man, which looks to be like a 32, and you see it here in triplicate. So a 30-meter unit here in Shibuya is going for $400,000 Canadian. Okay, so I'm the Tokyo Real Estate Man. Do I like this? Do I like this? Not necessarily, but this Tokyo market right now, or the Tokyo Shibuya market, or the most popular areas of Tokyo right now, are forcing us to be creative with our real estate. So again, I find myself here in, we find ourselves, thank you for watching this channel, here in Osaka. Now, what have I done to manipulate the map here on this one right there? You see there is Shoyuken, which means this is ownership. So there's quite a bit of leasehold stuff here. I was looking at some stuff earlier, and there's a lot of sort of leasehold stuff, so that's taking it off the map right there. Again, I've taken the owner change, and the rental stock here is all off the map. Okay, and the other thing that I did is I tried to get Menseki, which is the area. You'll see Menseki right there. We're looking at any properties here that are over 40 meters. And anyway, this is the stuff that came up. This one unit here for basically Nissan Nihyakkyujuman, which is $230,000, 44 meter unit. This is Tanimachi station, or it says Tanimachi Kyuchome. So it's a really great area, and I found a really good apartment. But we could just click, before we get there to that listing, the heart of the video, I wanted to show you here, like if I push this or click this red pill here, you'll see that here there is like a $1,100,000 86 meter 3 LDK here in the neighborhood. Okay, it looks to be a newer building. Okay, so you know that Japanese development companies are coming here into this neighborhood. Why? Because we did it on the video the other day, and why we keep covering it, as we know that since 1995 the population of Tanimachi, where this map is, which is Chuo Ward in Osaka, has doubled. That is no different here in Shibuya. If we were to go here to ChatGPT and look at the Shibuya statistics since 1995, my guess is they reflect Tanimachi. So in a way, Tanimachi, in some ways, I'm guessing, in some I'm interpreting, is Shibuya still in 2005, and its pricing is that way. The Tokyo market, Tokyo is the capital of Japan, and because it's the capital, there's more government, there's more embassies, More of the rental stock is taken up for all the head offices, all the government, etc. And then because or that sort of like area is not, there's in Osaka, I don't think it's intrusive, all those sort of government and embassies. I'm sure there's a lot of like consulates and stuff like that in Osaka, but this market is forcing us to look other places, and in some ways we're given a window here in Tanimachi, I think, or maybe we're not. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe on the very baseline level, the Tokyo real estate man here is exaggerating, and maybe it's just a damn good place to own an apartment if you want to own an apartment in Japan at a good price. And I found a really cool unit. There's two. I could cover one really quickly. This is not the main thrust of the video. This is one that costs a little bit more. I have a client right now is looking, but this is over their budget. But it was a good deal, and I just want to cover it really quickly. This is a 2K, it's called, and it's for 3990 man, or basically $340,000 Canadian. I don't know. It's just like maybe cut $10,000 off for the exchange fee, so $320,000. Anyway, go through the pictures really quickly. I like to look at this building right there, and it says, I think it says Fujiwa City Kopu, and this was on the 11th floor, so it's right, I think it's on the top floor. And there were no pictures here in the unit, so I think the owner is currently living in the unit. It just looked like a real, I like the placement of it where it's at on this street right here. Like, this is the street that it's on, I believe it's right here. So it didn't look like it's a really busy street. And it was, you're looking at a 68 meter unit on the 11th floor. So, I mean, this is $100,000 more, but I thought it was quite interesting looking unit. That's all. Like when I'm going through my searches here, and you can see this is a rare thing. It's called a 2K, right? For example, but I would just split it like this. I'd have a kitchen, and then you could have like a 1 bedroom there and two really big bedrooms, which I liked. And there was a balcony here, and there's some windows here. I'm guessing though that there's a building right beside here, so I'm just looking at the pictures here that the balcony is here, and then the windows are going to be here on the side. It looks like to be a staircase there. So and I just like the look of it. That sort of third wave tile of 1981. It's a nice building. Could come down here to the information of the listing. You see really reasonably priced for, like, it's a pretty big unit. In Tokyo this would cost a little bit more. The management fees on this one are going to be about $300 Canadian a month, or Japanese you'd say sanman. And this is a south-facing unit, balcony 4.9 meters. So you know that you're going to get really good light. For me, that vitamin D, like even yesterday it was sunny, and I got to do some sun tanning, and I feel really vibrant today because I just got a really good level of sunlight. So even in the winter time, you're going to get really good sun in this unit, which I really like. So I know I carry on about that. So you can there's no good pictures of the unit because the owner is presently living in it, and I can't really tell about the state of the unit, and it might not all be all that good. Let's see if the appeal points here. No, it says that actually that it's being redone right now. So as of May of 2024, it said that they've done some refoam here in the unit, I guess. So there is we don't have any pictures, and basically the consciousness of this with the Japanese selling, or the Japanese sellers in some ways, I think they think that this is a good price and a good deal, and this is just, you're going to get what you get, and they don't want to show any sort of details about their life and stuff like that. So if you were genuinely sort of interested in a unit like this, I think they would provide some pictures. But that's kind of, I believe, the mindset of the people, and they just want to. It's just a privacy issue, and and the way they're looking at it is like, that's a damn good price. And they know that because this is the neighborhood, and they bought into this neighborhood because it's a great neighborhood. And you don't see any you see here, look, you see a nice car here, you see a newer building here. This building that is here has been really well maintained. So the owner of this building knows what they own, and they think, or they know, they basically know when they come back to this map right here, they know that like if I were to move this map a little bit in different ways, they know about this $1 million pricing here for the newer units. Or this one here, there's one for 1.7 billion dollars. Okay, so they're aware. For example, this is a really good way to illustrate the point. Is they're aware that the stuff in this neighborhood is going for a lot of money, and the place that they're looking at selling is considerably less. Anyhow, the thrust of the video is for this this unit down here today, and this one is 200 or Nissan 290 man, which is 230,000 Canadian. Let's say $220,000 Canadian. And there's a very interesting listing. I liked it a lot. I like the pricing. I like the location. I like what I like this kind of 2025 look right now. Like you can see, maybe you don't like this, but you can see it for the flooring here. It looks like they've got sort of like a plywood look, and they've put some plywood. This is a very 2025 look, which in some ways is unconventional now. But going forward, you can say that minare means minare means when you get used to it. こういう日本人のお客様がこういう様子、このスタイルが見慣れたら、これは全然気にならない. Okay, what I just said in Japanese is when the Japanese public, okay, kind of get used to this this sort of look, it's not going to seem weird. And this is right now, to me, it looks like very 2025. And there's a lot of good things. You see, like I always talk about it, how they stripped everything down to the concrete, and they've turned the wiring. Wiring used to just be hanging. They used to have a sunken ceiling, and then the wiring would be hanging, and it would just get lots of cobwebs and dirt and dust over the years. But what's happened here in this kind of look is you turn the wiring into just a bit of accent here in the apartment. And you could say here that there's no underneath counter, but actually I think it's a good thing, because if you got like a rolling antique shelf, for example, you can move it in and out, and that allows for usually kitchens and stuff like that, especially with the shit corner particle board from stuff like IKEA. That stuff can really degrade over time because of the moisture and everything like this. So an open kitchen like this is a really good idea. Or you could construct easily with plywood some sort of shelf in here itself and put it on some casters and roll it around. And when you move those casters and stuff like that, you're going to have an automatic way to get in there and vacuum things to keep it cleaner. And there's going to be a natural sort of ventilation. A good window there as well. Anyhow, this I'm just impressed with this design, and I think that you don't really have to do anything to it, and so you have a lot of liquidity with this apartment given this location. And you can see here, really great example of how like wiring is becoming decorative, and yeah, just a really great work. And that's another thing. I was talking with the client the other day about it, and when you're buying these Japanese buildings, in some ways you're really buying a share in the Japanese labor force, because their quality is just best in the world. Anyhow, I'm just impressed with it. This kind of like board that you see here is really designed for hanging things, so you can hang all kinds of things in these sort of holes and stuff like that. Anyway, I'll keep going. This is an interesting bed platform here coming up too. Something this was done, I think, in the windows look to this one doesn't look to be updated, but this one doesn't look so old. Okay, I just like this is a really nice. To me, it's a really pleasant unit, and it'd really be easy to rent, and a great price. This is the kind of thing I mean, this is something I like to buy. Very easy. There's the kitchen again. Look really nice to me. There's nothing not to like. I want to come back to that one picture there. Yeah, I think it's just a sharp unit right there. Just sharp. Maybe you could put a shelf up here. That's a really kind of a tricky job to do, to drill into that concrete. Not a tricky job. Drilling into concrete is harder than drilling into wood. You could put up some brackets right there, drilling into the concrete. Stick up one beautiful piece of, for example, live edge wood right there, and you could just put your plates up there, or even your pots as well. And then when that wood gets old in 5 years' time, you could just replace it. So it's a great design here in the kitchen. And you can see again they have some hanging things here. This is a really good idea. And it's just some simple plywood back there. You could tile it if you want it right there, but everything here is stainless steel. It's great. You don't have to do nothing to this apartment ever. I'm not sure if this is carpet or if that's that sort of like stuff that they have in the back of trucks and stuff like that. I really don't like this kind of cement. I would rip this out, put a shelf in here. But you know what? It's not bad either. You could just you could even get rid of this sort of, this is the kind of that junk particle board stuff that I always talk about that is basically going to disintegrate over time. But you can see the laundry's inside here. It's nice. Everything's nothing not to like here in this unit. This same and done stylishly here. And this was from before, and then recently they just updated it with this. You see that you could easily do this shelf here in the kitchen just with a piece of plywood and replace it every year. Yeah, interesting how the door was done here with this sort of look here, but you also have a ventilation fan up there like that at the very top. This has not probably been updated since the building was built, but it doesn't really get me wrong because there's probably nothing wrong with it. So you could update that if you want. It's $10,000, or you can do what this owner does. And I think the sense with this is not a bad one because, like, of course, like, a new one would be nice if you're buying the unit. You wouldn't mind it, right? But really, how long do you spend showering every day? 5 minutes? Or, you know, I'm not sure if it's a split. Maybe the toilet. No, the toilet's a split toilet. It's really, really good. This is really good. So this is the more popular version in Japan. Have the toilet separate to the, and the toilet's been updated, and the shower hasn't. And or the shower, it's just an old unit bath right there. So that would present possibly a problem in the future depending on the state of the pipes and stuff like that. But you can see that little box where I'm moving the mouse right there. That's the utility box right there, and then you could, for example, judge the state of the pipes, and you could update them if you wanted, and you could have a plumber come in and change them, probably for I'm guessing $1,000, for example, like everything being changed, or maybe less. I could be exaggerating that too. I think I could probably get my plumber guy to come in and do this for Suzuki-san for maybe 500, and then I could just relax. That's the thing about these apartments, okay? If you're not always going to be in Japan, okay, this is great. You can lock the door. If you want a house, there's, you know, the greatest house market in the world, the United States. There's lots of houses in the United States in the C, D, and F, E, and F markets right there that are really great homes at good prices and like not necessarily deflating. Whereas the empty homes of Japanese IKEA are like, they're not viewed as valuable because they don't want them. And also the Japanese real estate business has, look at this great view, has a full industry, like a full industrial business of these prefabricated homes that are created by like top companies like Panasonic, and they already have an industrial capacity for that. So why would someone some ways want to refabricate an old house when you can just buy a new prefabricated house already? You see what I mean? The sense of things, because Japan has industrial capacity, and the industrial capacity part of it right there is also in housing. So yeah, so I think in some ways, I think this apartment thing is the way to go. And I'm an apartment guy and I have great units in Shibuya. So maybe Tanimachi is going to be an overflow because Tokyo is just crazy right now. I don't know. I could be wrong too. I don't know. I could be exaggerating, but certainly at this price, there's no loss. No way, you're winning. And this is a great apartment. It's great. This is unbelievable. And you see this building? It's a good building. These kind of doors, like I've mentioned in recent videos, look at the beautiful lighting they've done here. This is a sign of a proactive management in the building, okay? Which is, they follow, this is a building, I think, that's going to basically have like rules, or not, I'm not saying it's not overly rules, okay? But they're going to have like certain, Japan has just more rules in the West. That's why there's no like drugs and stuff on the streets and stuff like that. That's why it's a safer like environment. That's why it's a better environment to live in. It's unquestionable. Anyhow, like this is a great unit. It's a great price. I like the whole look out, and the things we could look at right here is that you can see that there's a new build here beside it. Do you see Lion's Mansion right there? Okay, Ueroku number 3. Okay, so yeah, it's just great. This is also like an auto lock, and you're going to need not a fob. You don't have a fob in Japan. There's 2 ways. You have a key. You see there's a key right here. I'm going to move the mouse near there. There's a key right there. Okay, it's a little bit old school, and you twist the key and that's going to open like that. Okay, that's so it's but this is known as a this is the entrance, but yeah, it's a controlled security entrance right there, which is great. Other things to look at here. I was trying to do it quickly this video, but I just get talking over things. I just can't help it. Management fees are really very, very reasonable. $200 a month. So east facing, which is Higashimuki, and I'm guessing it's vacant right now. Yeah, currently it is vacant. This is my deal of the week. Built in 1984, 11th floor. That's really great. The placement of this is great. This is a great unit for you to enjoy, to live in Osaka. You don't have to deal with the Tokyo prices. This one would be definitely easy to rent. Look here at the averages and stuff like that. When you look at the averages here too, what was this one? Nissan Nihaga. And you can come down here to the average and you can see, no, I think it's really, I think it is in that sort of this area where it is right here. And but I still think it's a steal. And maybe the steal is that I'm comparing it to Tokyo, or I'm comparing it to Vancouver in the background. So, but you can look that it sort of fits in the averages. And this market is a tougher one because it's in such demand. So you can't really get cheaper really than this. So this is just it. So I'll try to come in here closer if I can. Here's the Google Maps Golden Guy, and we'll drop him right here. This should be right in front of the building, I imagine. And you can see it. Ooh, what do we got there? That's a nice looking car. But you can see right there immediately that there's a newer building here built in the early 2000s. Something here built here. Look at this. Good. This is interesting here on top with the angled sort of cantilever on top. Something built. This is probably built in the late 1980s. You see. You see a newer building here at the end of the block, probably built in the last 5 to 6 years. You can see it's a very active area. Businessman walking down the street, there's a delivery man, there's another man there. And this is just by chance. This is a takoyaki, there's a takoyaki restaurant down here. And you can see right there that this is like an old, and this is also izakaya. And I guess this is the mansion right there, to be honest with you, where I'm one sort of block away from it, and this is what would be known as the Uramichi, or the behind sort of street. This is the Lions Mansion. This is the building itself right here from the back. So, and other things we can look at, you can see right there that this tile building right there is going through a protocol right there, or like a not a regrouting, but making sure that the grout and the cracks, if there is any cracks in the grout and stuff like that, is taken care of. Anyway, this is a really good view of Osaka. Really good view. Why is the population in this neighborhood increasing over the last 25 years, doubling? It's because people want to be here, and it's kind of the same that happened in Shibuya. However, compared to the Tokyo prices right now, this is a way better deal. Anyway, that kind of gives you the skinny on it. I could cover this. I was going to try to do this video quickly, but I just never can, everyone. I'm sorry. This is like, I wanted to do this is the Shiharai no Keisan. I wanted to do the financial, this again, the Shiharai Keisan. If I push this right here, this goes, is that going to give us the loan simulation? So if you're coming again from inside the Japanese market and you're working inside the Japanese marketplace, this gives you an idea of what your loan financing. I always try to talk on this channel for you to try to get the 0.85, which is the 35 flat. And if you were to put as much as, I think, like $40,000 Canadian, which is 400 mon, okay, you could get financing for this unit. This is total cost, by the way. This is the loan and the management fees and the interest all together. So you could live in Osaka for $730 a month, okay? And with an apartment like this one, I think in some ways you could have a roommate. You could house hack this if you wanted, for example. I don't know. That's just an idea. And if I did that one kind of video that came out today. I don't think it's going to be a very successful video about being in Japan and taking advantages of programs like this. Make sure that you're learning Japanese, but you can learn. Make sure you're taking, when you're learning Japanese, you can learn the Japanese stuff for money, because that's the stuff that's really going to help you over the long term. No matter what, Japan is a great culture that has a brilliant history. I love it, of course, but it's still a capitalist society, and then the capital will outstrip you unless you position yourself correctly. Don't forget the gold price in 1971, before Nixon takes us off or ruins the Bretton Woods agreements, okay, takes off the gold standards. An American worker, I'm not saying a Japanese worker is probably paid less in 1971, but an American worker in 1971, when gold is at $31 an ounce at an average wage of $4 an hour, at the end of the day, an average American worker would have the wages for 1 ounce of gold. Whereas right now, let me just do the quick calculation. I gotta sort of memorize this. The gold price right now in the United States in terms of U.S. dollars right now is about $3,400, and I'm gonna estimate the average wage per hour right now is $28 an hour. I could be overestimating a bit, okay, which means that in order to buy 1 ounce of gold right now with your labor from your work, okay, you need to work 121 hours. Okay, so in 1971, the American worker needed to work 8 hours. Okay, so divided by 8, so basically it's up 15 times. So we have to position ourselves in, and I'm originally come from the working class, the middle class. You have to position yourself, okay, in this environment in very intelligent ways, and that's what the 35 flat does, and it does protect you because you're signing a flat loan agreement over 35 years, so it offers you at least stability in a corrupt system. Anyway, another video here from the Tokyo Real Estate Man. いつもこのチャンネル見てる皆様ありがとうございます。You're looking for an apartment in or a house in Japan. Apartments, like everyone's looking at always these. I think the apartments are a great way to go. You can contact me here through my Instagram, TokyoRealEstateMan.website. If you want, you can DM me there. Some people do that. Some people come here to the website, TokyoRealEstateMan.website, and if you click the contact box, they're both the same name, TokyoRealEstateMan.website. That's why I got it. Even I can remember it. You can leave your information that you like there, and it'll come to me, or you could just give me a straight email there to my old school email. いつもこのチャンネル見ている皆様ありがとうございます。今日の動画もう終わりです。お疲れ様です。